But let's see if we can get the mouse going. Steve's apparently too busy to talk to me. How dare he have a life? This drill bit is bent. A USB port. Ah, what? That was a horrible experience. Let's do it again. Okay, oh. See, it always leaves a mark. Okay. Shit, it's too short. The only thing that was different, I don't know. All right, I just switched it back on and plugged it in, and the key's actually working.
Alrighty then, welcome to episode 11. We're still going. Okay, so we know what's happening. What time is it? It's mouse time. Yes, we have to get on with that. We've got lots of other things to do, and I could get distracted. No, but we've got to get the mouse working. It's just, ooh, that was a bit of a bump. And I guess we'll have a few more bumps in the road as we go along too. Oh, perfectly timed. All right, let's not mess around. Let's get on with it. Here we go. Okay, so the MFX has a mouse port on the back of the console, but it doesn't seem to be very happy right now. Now, I wanted to use the MFX keyboard and mouse, or so I thought, but let's get into that. There's an amazing piece of hardware called USB to CMI, made by a guy called Joe Britt. The unit that was sent to me was put together by my friend Andrei Kudrysev. Not only did Joe make the physical model and the designs of the hardware, he also wrote the code, and more on that later. Now, before I start, I really like my voyage of discovery and going into the unknowns, but in this particular case, I should have just read the manual, or at least read the webpage, something. Not just delved into something that was completely new, not like it's an old piece of gear. It's a new piece of gear and I still didn't read the manual. What's wrong with me?
Although ultimately I think I'll be connected via the MFX plug, I do want the ability to be able to plug in a regular USB keyboard and mouse. And that's where the handy CMI to USB interface that Andre sent me is going to come in handy. Let's check it out. Oh wow, nice packaging. Oh cool, thank you Andre. Very, very cool. Let's have a look. We've got a little 9-pin connector so we can connect it. Oh nice, look at that! Oh great. Alright, cool. So that's for a Series 2, Series 3, that's the extra power socket that I spoke to Andre before and he added a little extra socket for me in case I didn't get the voltage from my CMI, but I'm gonna try and get the CMI voltage working. And then it's got MIDI in too, look at that! Wonderful. Alright, let's try it out.
But first, we need to add 18 volts onto the MFX connector.
Hi, so today what we need to do is I need to get 18 volts going into the 354 card so that when we use the lovely external CMI box, it's gonna get the right voltage so it'll be switched on. Now Andre, who put this together for me, he's actually included a socket for an 18 volt supply, but I want to have it coming through from the CMI. So I have this handy cable that I've stripped from the power supply there. I'm just gonna run it there, around, into here, and then connect it on this side and give us 18 volts positive going in. Jeez. I should have just given myself a tiny little bit more space. I actually thought that when I chopped it off the end. I literally had another half an inch to go, and I now realise I could have used that half inch. You can always use an extra half inch. Oh my goodness, that is... I'm not going to be happy with this. That is really horrid. Blythe. It's too short. I think I might need a different terminal block, because I think I'm going to need that 0 volts. I guess we'll see. So I might just plug this in and see what I get. See if it powers it up. So it might be that we connect to the 0 volts here, but that's not the same volts. All right. Can't see it. Oh, it's got light. It's got power. Yay! I think this is going to work.
Why did you say that? Why did you say those words?
Wonderful. It's got to be light on it, so it's definitely getting power. Oh, I need to connect a mouse or something. It's booting. Okay, this will be interesting if I'm going to actually get some mouse movement. This will be the first time that this computer would have had a mouse going on it. Very happy it's getting power. All right. I'm not seeing any mouse. It's got a light, it's got power. Okay, the next thing would be is to try a keyboard, see if the keyboard works. Note the PS2 USB adapter on this thing. No, it's got power, but it seems like, Oh, it's working. All right, I just switched it back on and plugged it in, and the key's actually working. So let's just have a look at that. Luckily I was still recording. There we go. Keys are working. Great. Does backspace work? So that's very interesting. Alright, so now I'm going to try rebooting it with the mouse connected. It looks like it needs to have it connected before it boots. So let's just try that. So let's power off. Let's do this. I need to get a keyboard that's got a mouse, another USB port on it.
How about you stop and do that, for instance?
I'm going to connect up the MFX cable, but hopefully that won't preclude this from working. Let's see. So this time round, I'm booting with it connected already beforehand. Maybe that's what it needed. And we'll see. I've got a funny feeling that something else is still not there, but we'll see.
Whenever you're trying to solve something and figure something out, the number one thing is not to change two variables at once. So let's do exactly that.
Okay, moment of truth. Let's move the mouse and see what happens. Nope. Niente.
It turns out you have to connect what you want to connect before you switch it on. A fact I would have probably learned if I'd gone onto the website.
Okay, oh. All right, taking up. See, it always leaves a mark. Okay, so what are we doing now? Two things I'm going to be testing. I'm going to be testing this again, because I had it, I believe, set up wrong. So I brought down my Logitech mouse and my little, USB doofer and plugged it in there. I'm going to give that another go. But then, in the meantime, when I've been trying to make the mouse work on the MFX3 Plus keyboard, I managed to corrupt its memory. So now I have to download a new software update into it so that the shift and control keys and things like that will work. So I tried doing it from the Fairlight itself, but it never finishes, and it's like the image is wrong, and I know why. And I need to get the image that was on the old MFX hybrid drive that was on that one, and somehow get that on at the same time so I can copy it into here and then blah, blah, blah. But it works if I do this. So that's what I'm going to do now. All right, let's see if this works. I press the blue and the plus and minus, and it's like ready for software to be downloaded onto it. Starting internet, whatever that means. Zoinks. So now what it's doing is it's booting. Look at that. Wonderful. And so now it's saying MFX3 starting. So it's loading the software, and if you have a look on the screen there, you can see it's downloading, the loading of the software, downloading, and then it should say saving to non-volatile RAM. Boom, stand by, bam, and it's 15.03, and then now that that's happened, it's now saying starting TCS, and it's finishing its boot. And with any luck, wow, it takes a fair time. Starting MDR, starting SCI, MFX version 15.15.3. Boom! And there we have it. Fantastic. My lovely old Fairlight with its Buffy the Vampire Slayer and some other things on there. Fantastic. Just so you can see what this is like, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. Oops. And then I will just jog over here and then zoom in, and then you'll see just how fast this machine is. Just an absolute joy doing this. So now you can go around, you can see all the different outputs as they're being output there. Wonderful stuff. So now what's hopefully has happened is it's now got that new memory in there, and now when I connect this up, the shift and the control buttons will work. Still need to figure out the escape key, but let's see if we can get the mouse going. Let's power this back up. Now, is everything switched? Is this on? Right, good. Ready? Now when it boots back up, we should have the shift and control keys working again. Because of my, I had to take this thing apart to see if it was working, and when I did that, I guess I must have done something static-wise to the memory. So now I've booted, got the memory back in there, loaded the software. It's right enough that the keyboard, the control key and the shift keys work and the function keys work. Now I just need to boot it into CMI land. CMI 11. Boom. All right, it's booted. Let's give it a go. No. Huh. Darn it. That's very sad. Huh. Very odd. What could that be? All right. You know when you're supposed to record everything and then you don't record that one time and then something happens? So the thing happened. So the mouse wasn't working. And so I power it off, I do some things, and then I'm talking on the phone to someone and I power it back on. The mouse works. The mouse works. So now I power it off and I thought, okay, I'm just going to look to see if everything's cool. I power it back on, it doesn't work again. What?
Future Chris here again. And again, if I'd only read the manual, I would have understood that the devices are only recognized on power up, not after.
But I don't know. So now the only thing that was different was the fact that the MFX wasn't in MFX mode. It was just a straight RS-232 keyboard because I hadn't loaded the memory in, right? So actually no, that's not right. I deleted the memory to see if I could get it to load from this, and it didn't, right? So I reloaded. Now in between that is when I switched it on and it bloody worked. And then I loaded the memory, loaded the software back into the MFX console, and now I've rebooted it, it doesn't work. So the only thing I can try and do, which may as well record, is delete the memory out of this, empty it, and boot it back up. So I'm going to switch it on now and see if it doesn't work. I need to go and get the mouse from upstairs. But if it doesn't work, then we'll test it one more time and blah, 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 blah. Right, back soon. Alrighty, so we're going to try again. I'm going to try, I've got the mouse here, plugged in. Let's see if it works. Now this is with the MFX console having the software running on it, okay? Okay. The MFX console just went beep, it's just loaded. So now let's see if the mouse does anything. Nope. No mouse. Now it's showing here a little indication that it's actually doing something. No mouse. Okay, so that's that. So now what I'm going to have to do is just recreate that ridiculous scenario by killing the memory, which means I'll have to haul out the MFX again and do the whole blah 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 blah. But anyway, that's what I'm going to try. Alright? I'm going to empty the memory and try it with nothing loaded on it.
Sometimes I really feel sorry for myself, as there was some fundamental things that if I'd known, my life would have been a lot easier and it would have saved many hours. Alright, you empty the memory by, you hold down keys during its powering on process. And depending, 789 does diagnostics, 456 empties the memory. Let's just try it out here. So now I'm going to hold down 456, and then you release the keys. Now it's saying diagnostics, right? So you can do various different things here. Like if I go 3, you can see like that. You can see there's a jogger, but the mouse is actually not responding and doing anything, which is the annoying part. So now I'm going to do the other one. I think you exit with this, and then 9 to exit. So now it says program in non-volatile RAM is invalid. That's interesting. Okay, I didn't think it would do that. Now what I think I need to do is actually empty it. Release all keys when you're ready to zero all non-volatile RAM. Bonk. Right. So now, I guess it's empty. So if I don't do an MFX load, we'll see what the CMI does now. Okay, so now I'll be booting it up. And it's not running any, the console is now not running any MFX software. It is just dead. So it should be allowing me to type in. So it's now working in RS-232 mode. Boom. Now hopefully it won't try and do a load. Hello, am I here? I can't see, I don't have my glasses on. Hopefully it won't try and do a load into the non-volatile memory whilst it's loading. It should hopefully not do anything. So yeah, I've not told it to go into upload, so it's not going to send a signal to say, hey, send me the software. So hopefully it's going to do nothing, and we'll just see when it boots. Alrighty, so now it's loaded. I'm going to move the mouse. Yes! Yes! Ha! There we go! So the MFX, when it has the software loaded, it stops the mouse input from coming. So now that's working. Look at that. You can see it? Can you see the mouse? Yes? Now let me just get you a little close up there so you can see it. There you go. That's me moving the mouse around. Let's see if I'm going to even select something. Is any of those voices? Boom. What's that say? I can't even read it. Brass 1. So let's now go load. Click. This is the first time I've ever done this on this machine. Wonderful. Alrighty. And it's loaded it. Great. Da-da-da, I have a mouse. Now in this hobbled mode, the escape key didn't work, and neither did the command keys or the function keys or any of the other associated keys. Just the main QWERTY parts worked, so I couldn't leave it in that state because it's not usable. So I had to press on. So now I had to definitively know if having the MFX console software loaded was stopping the mouse from working.
Oh, I need to remember to tell it to go into the mode. Waiting for software. Boom. And it goes. Woof. Alrighty. Alright. MFX is starting. That's very familiar with the Fairlight in the top left corner and the next thing. So it says MFK software. You load down here. You look down here, I should say, and you see it loading. Okay, it's now loading from, boom, and it's loaded, and it does the beep, and the software's loaded, and that's all good now. Now that's MFX 3. Now, just so we all know, that's my MFX 3 in the bottom. This area here will be, everything will be cleared away, and this will be taking its place. Ta-da! Wonderful. Okay, so to prove if my theory is correct, I now have to move all this back, unplug everything, plug that back in there, put it all back to normal, and restart. No worries. Steve's apparently too busy to talk to me. How dare he have a life? All right, it's now loaded. Mouse movement, nothing. Yep, that's what it is. So having the MDR software running, that's like calling the shots. But hopefully that won't preclude this from working. All right. No mouse. Okay, well that basically answered that. I'm going to go and get a cheap mouse to see if it does that, and that's fine. So it's either going to be I get a Microsoft mouse and it works going through the MFX, right? That's number one. And then number two, I don't use the MFX keyboard at all, and I just get a cheap white keyboard with a trackpad, something that gives me direct access to the function keys, and that's going to be like 30 bucks. Anyhow, that's the choices that I've got. I've just thought, ooh, Apple keyboard. Hee. All right, this might be daft in it that it works. I might just use this old white Mac keyboard. It's clunky, it's got function keys. It's even got a little USB port. I can use the white mouse. All right, we're gonna try this. Okay, this might be the answer. So, switching off the Fairlight. Let's get this plugged in here. And I'm going to unplug the MFX connection that I worked so hard to have. Oh, it's all so silly. And now we're going to get a little, this mouse here, which has positively the shortest cable in existence for a mouse. But it might just be what we need. I don't need right click, I just need click. It's got a little mouse pointer thing, but I don't think we need, it just won't click. This might just be the answer that I need. All right, why is this cable so short? Okay, so MFX connection unconnected. No MFX, okay? And let's power it on. This might be the answer. A white, kind of antiquated old keyboard. If this works, then I'll be very, very pleased. All right, let's see if it works first of all. Yes. Boom. All right, so the keyboard works. Great. What does that say?
Dude, why is your monitor so far away? It's like the boiling of the frog. I really just didn't realize until I look back at the video now and go, what is he doing?
I couldn't read it from here. I don't have my glasses on. That's fine. All right, I'm now very excited that this is going to boot in now. It'll give me a clear kind of path of like knowing that I'm not going to use this as an MFX machine anymore. It's just going to be a CMI. Although, here's the funny thing. If I got the older software loaded onto the MFX3 console, then that would allow me to run MDR on this, which would be interesting. So reading the page, I'm now going to move the mouse. And I have mouse. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't like the surface it's on. Maybe the back of my iPad. I bet it doesn't like black surfaces either. Nope, it's perfect. That's it. That's the one. Alright, so if I have... Oh, the escape keys work too! Oh, this is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. I don't need to look any further. This is it. We're done. I'm going to use this keyboard. I've got this little mouse. It's all white. It's old. It's perfect. In fact, isn't this what Andre did as well? Am I copying Andre? Alright, great. Solution. Apple mouse and keyboard.
So overall, I was clearly making things more difficult for myself. I was doing things that the USB to CMI wasn't expecting. It's probably a rare case that somebody was wanting to connect this and have an MFX keyboard and a mouse connected at the same time.
Okay, I'm stuck in a quandary because usually USB panels, USB plugs are at the back of the machine, right? But this is going to be rack mounted, so there's not going to be no going around the back because this is going to be at the back. It'd be a hassle to get to the back of this. So I did want to put it right here and have the plug be right there. It'd be absolutely perfect. But I don't know if that's going to work. So, but I've got a solution. Something else I was thinking about is I was also thinking that I was going to mount the SCSI to SD card on the door. But I'm realizing it's going to get a bit smashy in there. So I thought of this. how about if I use even just the last little bits of the CMI, the last remaining parts of the old one, and I can actually take this board and chop it or just cut the end off slightly and then slide it in there and then mount this SD card onto it with the posts. Wouldn't that be cool? Then I'm actually still using even more of the machine. Aw, bless. Alright, that's what I'm going to do. But I still have to figure out where I'm going to put this. Should it go in the door? Now that could go in the door. That's not a bad idea. Let's look at a door and see what it would look like. Let's grab Steve's door. Alright, so here we have, very carefully packaged because, you know, I've got to put the new thingy on it yet. I haven't done that. But I'll be taking this because I'm getting a plate like this made. I need to take this with me as a kind of representation. So I've not got it connected right now. So if this was like this and this was down here, the biggest gap is right here. But that's where all these buttons are. The nicest place to have it, like down there, maybe.
Not here. That's what, there's a great gap there though. Of where that would be, but look, this isn't good there. It might be that we do it down there. Right, but it would be here, and it would be right at the bottom there. That would work.
Right, let's not do silly things. Let's do proper things. Let's make a SCSI to SD card support board so it fits inside the CMI. Great. And let's make sure to take your time and measure things properly. Measure things properly. Measure things properly. Measure things. You get the idea.
Then what I need to do is figure out which way it's going to be best to put in. I think that's too short.
Alright, let's measure this. Measure this. Measure this. Measure this. So, what I'm thinking we could do is if this is the way the card is going to be cut. Now the cards are 8 inches deep. It would give me a card that goes like that. It's going to have this little notch, which is fine. But then that will go to 8 like that. Bonk. Along there. And then we'll just have that funny little notch, which is okay. Now, if I have this short cable, think of this part here. If you have this short part of the cable, right, and I just trim off this, okay, the red goes down to the bottom, it fits in like this. The SCSI card is there, and then it will just breach across to here, and I'll have it at the top like that. Got a little bit of play there, so it'll give me enough space to have those cards like that, and hopefully it'll, with it being down there, it's not going to be too much trouble. Hopefully not.
Okay, let's fit this card in.
I want to keep this little Fairlight sign, so if I mount it just there like that, I think that's not bad. So now I need to use my little standoffs here, and we'll figure out which is going to be the right one for it. Got these various different lengths. I think that one looks about right. And then we just need the screws and the nuts and the what have you. Alright, now we just need to drill through that. Alright, 4 posts. And then the board will sit like that. Now all I need to do is cut the bottom here, and we're being a good place.
Clearly my saw isn't big enough. Goes with the territory.
Ta-da! I've got this little board now. Check it out. And so now I can now mount this. Oops, let's get a good picture of it. Like this. I get the SD card and I mount it. Boom! Directly on top of there like that. The only thing I've now got to figure out is what about the USB connection to the back. I've got to figure out where that's going to come out from. I really wish it could have been at the front. Alright, let's figure out one thing at a time. Alright, not bad. Let's get this in the Fairlight, see what it looks like. Look at... Shit, it's too short.
Alright, this is when I realized that I'd cut it too short. Again, simply impulsive, silly sausage.
Okay. It's too short. It was fine before, but I guess... Yep, it's definitely too short. Alright. Okay. This is a great example. Total failure. Darn it. Okay. I've sawn up that circuit board that was too big, and now I've sawed it and it's too small. It's my measurement that's wrong, so look at that. Where I cut it, I thought it was 8 inches. It's just a little bit short, which is enough. Oh man. Alright. Fail. Let's try again. I'm not going to concede yet. I think if I get little rubber feet, it will be enough to kind of hold it in position. It's not going to make it nice and slidey in and out. Unless I can... There's got to be a way. Hold on. Can I use these as like spacers or something? And figure something out. So what I've done is I've done a little bit of Dremel work here. I made a little channel for it to sit in like that. Okay, and then this actually is the right size to sit on the channel guides. So if I get 2 of these and I make them nice and maybe... Oh, I see, it's actually going to be squint there. I'm going to have to figure out how I can make it straight. Anyway, I'm going to make it so that we can actually have this channel sitting on top of that, and put another one over here, and we'll be in good shape. Look at that. That looks like it should be sitting there, just like that. But it's sitting there squint, so how do we fix that? We will MacGyver. Oh, look, that's going to fit, just like that. Glue gun, done. All right, well, I've attached that to there, these little sleds. Now what I need to do is drill out this one to the same degree so that it would actually sit in the same way at the back end. This has become more complex than it needs to be, but hey, I'm just using what I've got. That's all I can do. Alright, I've made my little sled. Let's see if it works at all. Oh, good lord. This is silly, but it might just work. Oh, come on, Blythe. All right. What are we doing here?
Okay, my sleds were a little bit big now, but however, after some modifications and some negotiations with the CMI, we managed to find some common ground.
All right. The SCSI to SD is in. There's more than enough cable so that if we need to move this down that way a little bit, because we maybe have more channel cards at some point, so we're good. And then I've put in the channel cards necessary. This is hanging off, so if this works, I'm going to trim off the edge of that. Call it a day.
Anyhow, we figured out a good solution. Now, next, let's put USB on this bad girl.
Alrighty, so one of the things that will make this, this is always going to be a special Fairlight. This is something that I think can be agreed upon. However, one of the things it's going to have is a USB port. Ah, what? So, I am going to be adding a little plate. Let's move this over here. I'm going to be adding a little plate on top of here, like this, for when it fits in there. I'm going to have to move some of the stuff around there, but that's fine, right? I'm going to have this, and then this is the SCSI port is down here. The USB port is down here, but I've got a little USB extender coming, which will feed around the back. And then this little guy, which is a USB, micro USB to normal USB connection, is the one that's going to go to the computer. So I'm going to have this like right there. Look at that, or that way around there. Boink. So, yeah, do I have a drill press? No. Do I have any of the right tools to do this? No. Am I going to gnaw this open with my teeth? Most probably. Let's get on with it. This drill bit is bent. But I don't care.
So the Dremel is bent. It's basically just oscillating and buzzing around, skittering around and generally annoying me, and not really drilling anything. So do I stop and get a proper like bench press drill for this? No, of course I don't.
Something's horribly wrong with that. Alright, we made enough mess there to last a lifetime. That was a horrible experience. Let's do it again. Right, time to actually get proper drills. Getting there. Very close. All right, now we just need to tidy it up. There we go. Could be a little bit neater, and it's a bit chipped at the edge, but it's fine. Now, next, I gotta punch the holes for these bits. Bonk. Get those measured out. So, alright, that's okay. It's a bit rough, to be honest, but you know what, in the grand scheme of things, I am a bit rough. I'm gonna tidy it up, I just might not do it right now. But look at that, that's gonna be nice.
Alrighty, that's another episode down, and we got a lot done. Admittedly, some of them took way longer, and with a bit of foresight and a bit of learning, I could have chopped off a whole bunch of time there, but I didn't, because that's not the way I roll, clearly. But we got the USB to CMI working, and we got a mouse and keyboard working properly. We also got power to the USB to CMI by adding 18 volts onto the MFX connector. We got the SCSI to SD card mounted, kinda properly, and we got the USB socket organized. Next up, we're gonna give this faceless machine a CMI face.
Alrighty, so I have a goal. The goal is to make a plate like this. It's not going to be easy. Now, it looks like I've got a couple of options. A friend of mine can actually cut the panel for me and do the holes. Then I'll have to do the notches by hand. Not a big deal, that's not so bad. This is a 3mm plate. So what I've got though is, this is 2mm, and it's the right width. And what I was wanting to do, and I know this is a bit crappy, so I was going to spray it with some primer that I've got as well, and then I was going to paint it as a test to see if it's any good. I'm going to cut it, then I'll do a little test spray over here, and if it looks okay, which it might or may or may not look okay, I have no idea, then I'll use this cut one to actually make a temporary plate, right? I'm running it, and I don't like the fact that it's open at the front. I don't know if it's getting enough cooling, so I want to have it sealed up and do it properly. So this may work. If it works okay, then my brain kind of goes, maybe I can use this as the front plate, or even if I get my friend to cut the plate, which is proper 3mm, I might be able to sidestep getting it sprayed properly if the spraying goes okay. It might not, I don't know, but I'm gonna try.
Of course, as with everything on this project, and my life generally, nothing will be straightforward. However, we carry on.